Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at changing patterns of family life, focusing on childbearing. In recent years there has been a decrease in the number of children born in the UK, and this is part of a larger trend of families having less children. In 2018 in the UK there were 657,000 live births in the UK, which represented a decline of almost 10% of the level of the last baby boom in 2012. And the lowest number of children born in the UK since 2005. However, historical comparisons suggest that the net birth rate, expressed as the number of children born per thousand of the population, has decreased by almost 40% since the 1960s, with women having less children. Another noticeable trend is the decline in the percentage of children who are born to married couples, which has fallen to just 51.6% of all births. Whilst this may suggest that there is an increase in lone parent families, most of these children were registered by both parents, which demonstrates changing attitudes to childbearing and marriage. Fertility rates for females also dropped to an average 1.7 children, down from just under 3 in the early 1960s. Although one age group, women over the age of 40, had a consistent fertility rate with the previous year, demonstrating that the age at which women choose to have children has changed. Sociologists look for explanations behind why less children are being born, and below are some of the explanations offered. Firstly, the changing roles of women in society. Secondly, improved contraception. Another explanation is that people delay having children, and a final reason relates to the economic and social costs of having children. In this video, we're going to look at these in a little more detail. As we've discovered when examining changes in relationships such as divorce and marriage, the changing role of women has an impact on the number of children being born in the UK. With women becoming increasingly career orientated and achieving higher levels of education, childbearing is often delayed until later in life. Career progression and becoming financially independent are seen as higher priorities for women, and social expectations of women to have children at a young age have changed somewhat because of this. Examining the fertility rate of all women under the age of 40 demonstrates a change in when women are having children, in their late 20s and early 30s as opposed to their early 20s in previous years. The consistent fertility rate of women over 40 also suggests a delay of childbearing, and correlations can be drawn between this and the involvement of women in education and higher positions in organisations. Women's focus on their careers also means they are less likely to have larger families than in previous generations, as too many breaks from employment might cause their career to suffer. Greater availability and effectiveness of contraception has also led to a decrease in the number of children being born in the UK. In previous generations, contraception was available, but the advances in contraceptive devices mean that women can be more certain about how they control their own reproductive cycles. The use of contraception allows women to have control over when they choose to have children, and this is influenced by their career, their personal circumstances, and their health. Newer contraceptive technologies are also less intrusive and more effective than in previous generations, meaning that women can be in relationships without having unwanted pregnancies. Improved contraception also applies to males, with social attitudes to contraception for men changing as a result of awareness campaigns into sexually transmitted diseases, leading males to take shared responsibility for contraception. We've already touched on some of the reasons, such as career choices and education, as to why females may delay having children, but there are other reasons for choosing to delay children. Greater individualism in lifestyles has meant that many people choose to pursue different options before settling down to have children. People may choose to travel or want to spend more time alone with their partner before having children, as well as career progression. A further reason for delaying childbearing is the insecurity of employment in contemporary society and changes in the job market. With people feeling unprepared for the financial commitments of children if their employment is less certain, the delay of childbearing can be demonstrated by looking at the changes in fertility rate for women, with the highest rate of fertility being for women in their early 30s in 2018 compared to their 20s in 1964. This demonstrates that women are choosing to have less children and later in life. A final reason for changes in pattern of childbearing is the cost, and not just the economic costs but also the social ones. Hirsch suggests that the cost of raising a child to the age of 18 are over £150,000 for parents, and with the increasing precarity of employment, higher costs of living, and the growth of pest to power, people may opt to have fewer children. This may also be to ensure that they are able to afford to meet their own individual needs in an increasingly consumerist society. There are social costs as well to having children, with some adults preferring to focus on themselves and their own need for time and space to reflect. Leisure choices and the increasingly global nature of travel is another factor that influences people's choices to have children or to delay childbearing, as are the already stated career aspirations of both partners. With the increase of child-centred society, having less children can help to control both of these costs, and this is something people consider when deciding whether or not to have children and how many. As highlighted at the start of the video, there's been an increase in the recent years of the number of children born outside of marriage, with over 48% of children born to unmarried parents in 2018. It's important once again to stress that these are not all lone parents and that many of these children are born to cohabiting couples, which demonstrates changing attitudes towards marriage and childbearing. No longer is it necessary for people to be married before having children, and this is in part due to the reduced stigma attached to being born outside of marriage, which is a reflection on the secular values of contemporary society. That concludes this Tutor to You sociology topic video on changing patterns of family life, examining childbearing. Thanks for watching.